Okay, so get this. You think you know rhubarb, right? Pies, tarts, maybe a jam.
Sure.
But get this, it could be a secret weapon against obesity.
Oh, wow.
We're diving deep today into some research you sent over. I review all about rhubarb and how it affects cholesterol and fat.
Okay.
We'll unpack how rhubarb might actually help people lose weight and improve their health overall, and why scientists are so excited about it.
What's so fascinating about this is that it connects what we've kind of traditionally known with what modern science is saying.
Yeah.
For centuries, like all around the world, people have been using rhubarb in medicine.
Right.
And now science is really catching up. It's starting to understand why.
So we're talking about rhubarb going from the garden, like literally, to the medicine cabinet.
Exactly. And one thing that really stuck out to me in this review was that Turkish folk medicine, they specifically use rhubarb to treat obesity.
That's interesting.
It makes you wonder if they were onto something way back then.
Yeah. And now we see rhubarb in all sorts of things, like laxatives, dietary supplements, even extracts for menopausal symptoms because of its estrogenic activity.
Right. And all of this is setting the stage for scientists to really investigate rhubarb for weight loss, building on what we already know.
Right.
About its effects.
Okay, so let's talk about fiber.
Okay.
We all know rhubarb has a good amount of dietary fiber, especially insoluble fiber. But how does it actually compare to other fruits and veggies? Like, how much are we talking?
Well, rhubarb has a whopping 26.7% insoluble fiber. That's more than double an apple, which has 9.8%, or a carrot at 10.3%.
Wow, okay.
Studies show that getting enough of this type of fiber can significantly lower your bad cholesterol.
That is a huge difference. But this review suggests that rhubarb's benefits go way beyond just fiber.
Yeah.
It's like there's a whole other team working behind the scenes to make us healthier.
Right, and that team is made up of compounds called stilbenes and anthraquinones.
Ooh, big words.
I know they sound intimidating. Yeah. But stick with me here. What makes these compounds so interesting is that they can really influence how our body deals with fats and sugars.
So they're kind of like tiny dials that can tweak our metabolism in good ways.
Exactly. Think of it as you have a control panel for your body.
Yeah.
And rhubarb is giving you the tools to adjust it for better health.
I like that. Okay, so let's get specific. The review talks about compounds like ropintosin, ropintogenin, and resveratrol.
Yes.
What are those guys doing at a cellular level?
Well, when you eat, your body has to break down fats and sugars for energy, right?
Right.
Ropintosin acts like a brake pedal for fat digestion.
Okay.
It slows down the enzyme called pancreatic lipase that breaks down fats, which means your body absorbs fewer calories from those fats.
So it's doing some of the same work as like a weight loss drug then?
It is, and it gets even more interesting. Rhubarb also has compounds that can inhibit soluble epoxide hydrolase, or SEH.
Okay.
This enzyme is linked to inflammation and cardiovascular disease.
So by inhibiting SEH, rhubarb might be able to help with those conditions too.
Right, absolutely.
Wow, so rhubarb is sounding like a lot more than just a pie plant.
It is. And there's this compound called picetanol in rhubarb
Okay.
that seems to be really good at preventing fat cells from multiplying.
It's like it's putting up a no vacancy sign for fat cells.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you've got rain, which is another interesting compound. It actually encourages your body to break down stored fat for energy and kind of discourages the storage of more fat. Talk about a 1-2 punch against obesity.
Wow. Rhubarb is really packing some powerful tools. But this all makes me wonder, how much rhubarb would someone have to actually eat to see these kinds of benefits?
That's a great question, and one that researchers are still looking into.
Yeah.
What's fascinating here is that these compounds aren't just blocking fat absorption.
Right.
They're actually influencing how our bodies store and use fat.
Yeah.
It's a much more holistic approach than a lot of traditional weight loss methods.
That's really fascinating. It definitely seems like rhubarb could be a valuable tool for improving our health.
It does. And the review also highlights another important aspect of rhubarb's potential.
Okay.
It can help regulate blood sugar levels.
So it's not just about weight loss, but like overall metabolic health.
Exactly. That's why this research is so exciting. Rhubarb has the potential to impact a wide range of conditions, from obesity and diabetes to heart disease and inflammation. It truly is a remarkable plant.
Okay, I am really thinking about rhubarb differently now.
Yeah.
But, let's get real for a second. This all sounds fantastic in a lab setting. What about in real life? Have there been any studies done with actual humans?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
The review does summarize the results of several animal studies.
Yeah.
And the findings are actually pretty impressive. Rhubarb extracts have shown positive effects on weight, cholesterol, and even liver health in mice.
So mice are losing weight, improving their cholesterol, and their livers are thanking them. That sounds like a win-win-win.
It does.
But I imagine translating those results to humans might be tricky.
You're absolutely right.
Right.
Animal studies are promising, but you have to be cautious about directly applying those results to humans. There are always challenges in making that leap.
Right, because mice and humans are different,
Right.
even if they both might enjoy a good rhubarb snack.
Exactly.
So what about human studies? What does the research say about how rhubarb affects us directly?
Well, there have been some early clinical trials with humans, and the early results are encouraging. However, it's still very early days, and we need larger, more comprehensive studies to confirm these initial findings.
Right. And I imagine people might respond differently to rhubarb, just like they do with any food or supplement.
Absolutely.
We're all unique, and what works for one person might not have the same effect on someone else.
That's a really important point. There isn't a one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to health and wellness. What we eat, how we exercise, our genetics, it all contributes to how our bodies react to different things.
Well, this deep dive has definitely made me see rhubarb in a whole new light. I'll be adding it to my shopping list more often, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's such a delicious and versatile ingredient.
It is.
You can get creative with it. Smoothies, compotes, even try a savory rhubarb chutney.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so beyond pies and crumbles, rhubarb is showing some serious potential as a health-promoting superstar.
It is.
What stands out to you most about all of this research? What are your biggest takeaways?
I think the most exciting part is that modern science is confirming what traditional wisdom has known for centuries. Cultures around the world have been using rhubarb medicinally for so long, and now we're beginning to understand why it's so effective. It really is a testament to the power of nature and its potential to heal.
It makes you wonder what other secrets are hidden in our gardens and on our grocery shelves, doesn't it?
Absolutely. There's still so much we don't know about the natural world and how it can improve our health. This research on rhubarb is just a glimpse into that potential.
You know the saying, let food be thy medicine.
Right.
Well, rhubarb seems like the perfect example. It's delicious, it's versatile, and potentially packed with health benefits.
I completely agree. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener, and I'm sure our listeners feeling the same way.
So what are you most curious about after learning all of this? What questions are still swirling around in your mind? Maybe it's time to give rhubarb a starring role in your diet, not just a supporting one.
And while it's important to consider incorporating more rhubarb into your diet,
Right.
it's also important to remember that it's not just about eating more rhubarb. It's about being mindful of our overall diet and lifestyle choices.
That's a great point. Rhubarb isn't a magic bullet, but it certainly is a fascinating piece of the puzzle when it comes to, managing weight and improving our health.
The review also pointed out that the different species of rhubarb have varying levels of those anthraquinones we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Some species, like Rheum officinale and Rheum palmatum, have a much higher concentration of these compounds
Right.
and are traditionally used for their laxative properties.
Right, and the review mentioned that those strong laxative effects can sometimes be a problem if people are misusing them for weight loss.
Yes.
It's a reminder that even natural things can have side effects if they aren't used properly.
Absolutely. It's always important to talk with a healthcare professional before starting any new supplement or making big changes to your diet, especially if you have any underlying health conditions.
This deep dive has definitely given me a whole new appreciation for rhubarb. I used to think of it as just a simple, tart ingredient for desserts, but now I see it as a potential powerhouse for health and wellness.
It's a fantastic reminder that nature holds incredible healing potential. From ancient remedies to modern scientific discoveries, rhubarb truly shows us the power of plants to improve our lives.
I'm already brainstorming new ways to incorporate rhubarb into my meals. Rhubarb salsa, rhubarb-infused water, maybe even some grilled rhubarb with balsamic glaze.
Those sound delicious.
Yeah.
And remember, while we've learned a lot about rhubarb's potential benefits today, there's still so much more to learn.
Right.
Research is ongoing, and we're likely to see even more exciting discoveries about rhubarb in the future.
Well, this deep dive has definitely sparked my curiosity, and I hope it's done the same for you.
Yeah.
We've explored the science, the history, even the culinary possibilities of rhubarb. What an amazing plant.
Yeah, it is. It has been a fascinating journey. I hope this deep dive inspires you to really take a closer look at the foods you eat.
Yeah.
and think about how nature can help keep us healthy.
I'm already looking at rhubarb differently.
Good.
It's amazing how something so common can have so much potential. But I am curious about something you mentioned earlier, the different types of rhubarb and their varying effects.
Okay.
Can you tell me more about that?
Of course, it's important to note that not all rhubarb is created equal.
Okay.
There are different species of rhubarb, and some, like Rhum officinale and Rhum palmatum,
Yeah.
are known for their powerful laxative effects because they have a much higher concentration of anthraquinones.
That makes sense. So would those be the types of rhubarb used in traditional medicine?
Yeah.
For digestive issues?
That's right. But it's important to remember that those strong laxative effects can be a problem if people are using them inappropriately for weight loss.
Right. That's a good reminder that even natural substances
Yeah.
can have unintended consequences if we aren't careful.
Right.
So when we're talking about rhubarb for weight loss and these other benefits, are we talking about all types of rhubarb, or are some species better suited for that purpose?
That's a question that researchers are still investigating. It's possible that different species of rhubarb might have different effects on weight management and overall health. For example, some research suggests that the species Rhumum rhubarbarum might be particularly promising for weight loss due to its unique combination of compounds.
That's really interesting. I'm starting to realize just how complex rhubarb is.
Yeah.
It's not just a simple ingredient, it's a whole world of possibilities.
Right.
Do you think there's a risk of overdoing it with rhubarb consumption?
That's an excellent question. Like, anything moderation is key.
Yeah.
While rhubarb offers potential health benefits, consuming large quantities, especially of certain species, could lead to digestive issues due to those strong laxative effects we discussed.
Right, so enjoying rhubarb as part of a balanced diet is probably the best approach.
Exactly. And it's always wise to consult with a healthcare professional before making significant changes to your diet or incorporating new supplements, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions.
Right.
They can help you determine what's best for your individual needs.
This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the potential of rhubarb. It's a delicious reminder that sometimes the answers to our health concerns might be growing right in our own backyards.
I agree completely. This research into rhubarb is so fascinating, and it's a great reminder that nature holds so much power to heal and nourish.
Well, after learning all of this about rhubarb, I think I might just skip the pie and have a stalk of rhubarb for dessert tonight.
That sounds like a great idea, and who knows, maybe while you're enjoying that rhubarb, you'll have a flash of inspiration for a new rhubarb recipe.
Maybe rhubarb-infused ice cream or a savory rhubarb and lentil stew.
Ooh.
The possibilities are endless.
This deep dive has certainly been a journey of discovery for me, and I'm sure it has been for our listener as well.
It's been amazing to learn about the science, history, and even culinary potential of rhubarb, and I'm so glad we had the chance to share this deep dive with you today.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure to explore this topic together.
I think the biggest takeaway for me is that rhubarb is more than just a delicious ingredient. It's a plant with a rich history and a future filled with possibilities.
I couldn't agree more. And remember, research is ongoing, so we're likely to learn even more exciting things about rhubarb in the years to come.
That's really exciting to think about. Who knows what other secrets rhubarb holds.
That's the beauty of science, isn't it? There's always something new to discover, and plants like rhubarb constantly remind us of the incredible power of nature.
This deep dive has certainly sparked my curiosity about rhubarb and the potential health benefits hidden in our everyday foods.
It's been a pleasure sharing this deep dive with you today. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and remember, there's always more to discover.
It really is. And speaking of discoveries, are there any other exciting areas of rhubarb research that you're particularly interested in?
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for rhubarb's future in the world of health and wellness?
One area that I find particularly intriguing is the research into rhubarb's potential benefits for gut health.
Okay.
We've already talked about its high fiber content,
Right.
but some studies suggest that certain compounds in rhubarb might also promote the growth of beneficial gut bacteria.
That's fascinating. So rhubarb could be a prebiotic,
Yeah,
helping to nourish the good bacteria in our gut.
exactly, and that's important because a healthy gut microbiome is linked to all sorts of benefits, from improved digestion and immunity to even mental health.
Wow, this is all so incredible. I never would have thought that humble rhubarb
Right.
could have such far-reaching effects on our health.
It's a testament to the incredible complexity of nature, isn't it? Even plants that we think we know well can still surprise us with their hidden potential.
I'm starting to think we should all have a rhubarb patch in our backyards.
I agree. It's a hardy plant that's relatively easy to grow,
Yeah.
and it can provide you with a delicious and potentially health-boosting ingredient right at your fingertips.
So after this deep dive, what's your final thought for our listener?
Okay.
What should they take away from all of this amazing information about rhubarb?
I think the biggest takeaway is that even the most familiar foods can hold incredible secrets waiting to be unlocked. This research on rhubarb is a reminder that nature offers a wealth of potential solutions to many of our health concerns.
It's like a call to action to be more curious about what we're eating and how it can impact our well-being, to really appreciate the power of nature to heal and nourish us.
Exactly, and to always stay open to new discoveries. Who knows what other amazing things we'll learn about rhubarb in the years to come, or what other hidden gems are waiting to be discovered in the plant world.
This deep dive has definitely inspired me to look at my food in a whole new light, and I hope it's done the same for you. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of rhubarb. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.